It's too heavy. How? What? I don't even know how to phrase this question. All I know is children do not come with manuals, without instructions.
Of course, it's a matter of guilt. But let that guilt be real and deep and transformational. When guilt is real, it becomes an agent of change. When guilt is superficial, it becomes an agent of defense. What we commonly do to our kids is the complete story of our life. We are continuously doing that. That is not possible. Religion is the very art and science of consciousness, is it not? Is it not? If your decisions, your acts are not coming from your consciousness, how do you claim to be religious?
We always say lie to it, and we say that lie is truth 100 times to our mind and say, oh, no, this is the truth. Actually, we don't want to accept the truth and we just hide behind that, sir.
Wish you stay here. Huh?
Yeah.
You stay here. Don't let this go. There was this Hindi movie that galti se mistake ho gaya. No, not galti se mistake ho gaya. That's your very center. It's probably a blessing when we commit blunders that can no longer be hidden, justified or rationalized. We need to commit blunders. Only then we'll be forced to admit to ourselves that we are operating from a wrong center.
These are opportunities of redemption, repair,
Everything.
once the cognition.
Yes, that's the only thing that's needed. Acknowledgement, and a complete acknowledgement, not a partial one. You have to see that you are operating from fundamentally the wrong point all your life. Therefore, you need colossal blunders. Now it's the dinosaur in the room. You cannot hide it, nor can you avoid looking at it. Can we undo that within us right now?
Namaste, Acharya ji. Namaste, everyone. Thank you. Sometimes couples who are also parents exhibit their disagreements or arguments in the presence of their children, which may cause mental health issues unbeknownst to them, the parents. And later on, when they do become aware, they feel guilty. And this guilt gets harbored in them as long as a lifetime or beyond. I'm not aware. It's too heavy. How? What? I don't even know how to phrase this question. All I know is children do not come with manuals, without instructions. How? Thank you.
I mean, let that guilt remain, because we indeed are guilty. You bring a life to the world, often in the most unconscious way possible. And then your impact, your impression just distorts things even further for the girl or the boy. Of course, it's a matter of guilt. But let that guilt be real and deep and transformational. When guilt is real, it becomes an agent of change. When guilt is superficial, it becomes an agent of defense. You say, I did that in ignorance, I didn't know much, so how can I be blamed? Not that kind of guilt. Or, I'm a good person, but I indeed did do bad things, but that was just a coincidence, a random slip, something unintentional. Not that kind of guilt. Let the guilt be complete. Complete because what we did or what we commonly do to our kids is the complete story of our life. We are continuously doing that. It's not just the kids who are at the receiving end of our violent ignorance. Aren't we equally violent towards everything and everybody? Just that in the case of kids, it shows up in the most conspicuous and brutal way possible. Otherwise, our unconsciousness, by definition, is violent. So when that complete guilt is there, then it becomes a factor for transformation of complete life. Every single relationship, not just our relationship with the kids. I mean, yes, of course, kids are very vulnerable, more vulnerable, and what we do to them is very reprehensible because they are also hopelessly dependent on us, and in some way we betray their trust. Yes, of course. But the same unconsciousness, does it also not find expression in our relationship with our friends, with our pets, with our spouses, with the planet in general? Or are we selectively unconscious? No, we are unconscious towards everything. Towards everything. But when it comes to kids, oh, they are so little, so feeble, and also so cute that you feel very upset at having done to them a few bad things. If only you discover that you have indeed done a few bad things. A lot of parents never discover that. Even if they do discover that, they never accept that. They never accept that. It takes a lot of courage to accept that we have not been fair to our kids. But the thing is, you cannot be fair because you are unconscious. And that's the way of our life. How do you be fair? Is justice or fairness or love possible from an unconscious state? No. Before the kids came, there was the moment of impregnation. Was that a conscious moment? Before the mating, there was the moment of wedding. Was that a conscious decision? Before the wedding, maybe there was a period of courtship. Was that conscious courtship? It's a series of unconscious acts. And it doesn't stop with the kids. It continues all our life. If the guilt is complete, it will show you the completeness of your unconsciousness. If the guilt is not complete, maybe it will make you spiritual. And you will go to some place of worship or some Babaji or follow some method and say, now I am a decent woman. Remaining who you are, you will pretend you are a decent woman now, while you are much the same as what you have been all your life. Let the guilt totally incinerate you from within. If the guilt is actual, it will not allow you to remain the person you have been. Then it's not just your relationship with your kids that would change. It's a relationship with yourself and the entire world. That's the kind of guilt we need. Not selective guilt, not superficial guilt. I am otherwise a great father, a great human being. I am a great boss, or I'm a great employee. I'm also a very religious person, Just that I have not been kind or fair or responsible towards my daughter. Sir, that is not possible. Not possible to be religious and not be fair and yet be fair to your daughter. But you are saying, no, everything else is all right. Only in this particular segment of life have I gone wrong. Not possible. Not possible. And what else can be a mark of your irreligiosity than your deformed relationship with your kids? Tell me, please. We say, we are religious people. We value sacredness. We believe in God. And then look at the world and see how it traumatizes its kids. What kind of religiousness is this? How can you be religious if that does not show up in your relationships and your decisions? Religion is the very art and science of consciousness, is it not? Is it not? If your decisions, your acts are not coming from your consciousness, how do you claim to be religious?
Actually, sir, we hide behind those words.
We hide behind words. Yes, that's true.
Sorry, sir, my name is Alika from
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon to everybody. I just say we hide behind these words and we just justify ourselves that what we have done is right. And we always say lie to it and we say that lie is truth 100 times to our mind and say, oh, no, this is the truth. Actually, we don't want to accept the truth and we just hide behind that, sir.
Wish you stay here. Huh?
Yeah.
You stay here. Don't let this go. Don't let this go. I'm a decent person. In fact, my guilt comes from my assertion that I'm otherwise a decent person. I went wrong only in this one particular case. No, sir. Your very center is misplaced. There was this Hindi movie there, गलती से mistake हो गया.
Yes, sir.
No. Not गलती से mistake हो गया. That's your very center. It's not accidental. It's not random. It's not an one-off slip. That's the whole story of your life. That's why I'm emphasizing on the word complete. And when you see that, a new story unfolds. Now it's not just a relationship with your kids that is renewed. Now it's your relationship with yourself that's different. Very different. Not just different. Separate plane altogether. Sometimes I observe, probably it comes as an opportunity when we make seriously big mistakes. Mistakes, huh? Mistake. Because the smaller ones, we are adept at concealing the smaller mistakes. No, nothing happened. No, I was all right. Not my fault. What can I do? I'm under so much of pressure. Not my fault. Huh? We are very skilled at concealing the little mistakes. It's probably a blessing when we commit blunders. Blunders that can no longer be hidden or justified or rationalized. We need to commit blunders. Only then we'll be forced to admit to ourselves that we are operating from a wrong center. Blunders. That's why in the history of spirituality, there have been turning points when man has killed his saints, his teachers, his prophets. Because you are anyway always hurting your sages, your saints, your thinkers, your philosophers, you're always hurting them. But that can be kind of swept under the carpet. No, it was a little bit of hurt, not much, nothing more. But when you actively kill a Socrates, that's when you cannot escape the situation. That's when you are forced to confront your brutality. So that's a great opportunity. There could have been no Christianity without the crucifixion. So blunders and gross exhibitions of evil are in some sense a good opportunity. In fact, probably there would have been no Plato had Socrates not been poisoned. Are you getting it? Yes.
Thank you, sir. So, these opportunities are opportunities of redemption, repair.
Everything.
Once the cognition has been.
Yes, that's the only thing that's needed. Acknowledgement. And a complete acknowledgement, not a partial one. You cannot say, only on that day, only in that event, only with that person did I go wrong. You have to see that you are operating from fundamentally the wrong point all your life. Therefore, you need colossal blunders colossal blunders. And then those colossal blunders are difficult to hide. Now it's the dinosaur in the room. You cannot hide it, nor can you avoid looking at it. Now it becomes unavoidable. Now you have to admit that you are indeed fundamentally in the wrong. So when such a thing happens, when our acts of ignorance harm a loved one, especially a little kid, so we cannot go back to the past and undo it there. But there is something within us that can be undone right now. That's the opportunity. Can we undo that within us right now? And then unscripted things happen.
So please elaborate. When the guilt incinerates you,
Yes.
please elaborate on that, sir.
Which means you are no more the same person who would get into things she needs to be further guilty of. There is somebody sitting within me. I identify with that one, right? I have given that one my own name. What's your name, please, if you may?
Karishma.
Karishma. So there is somebody within, and I call that person, that thing, that being as Karishma. Karishma, right? Now that's the criminal, that's the guilty one. And criminal in the sense of being unconscious. That's the only crime. That's the mother of all crimes. If you are unconscious, anything and everything that you do will be a crime. Crime is not an isolated event or activity or happening. Crime is who we are. The one sitting within, that I call as Karishma, is the criminal because she is unconscious. Classically, that's called the ahankar, the ego. That's the first criminal. That's the first criminal because it has stolen something. It has stolen your name. That's not who you are, but that one has taken your name. It calls itself the Atma. I am the truth. It calls itself Karishma. It's not Karishma. You are somebody else. That's what entire Vedanta is about, your real identity. You're not the one sitting within. You're not the criminal, obviously. The sages say you are the sons and daughters of immortality itself. How can you be a criminal? No possibility. But the criminal within us has stolen our identity. Stolen our identity. Now this criminal, whatever it does will be the criminal, whatever it does will be a crime. So what is meant by incineration? Get rid not of the crime but of the criminal itself. Otherwise, you will be fighting crimes in isolation. Here I went wrong with this person. Let me repair the damage. In this particular transaction, I did something unjustified. Let me apologize. Here in this matter, I am again erring. Let me correct. This kind of isolated, fragmented approach will not work because the criminal will stay safe. So incineration means I am not fighting the crimes anymore. I am destroying the criminal itself. That's incineration. Yeah. Yeah, wonderful. Intense and engaging. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Acharya ji, for such an enriching and thought-provoking session. To express our gratitude and admiration, we proceed with the felicitation of our chief guest. I invite Professor Geeta, Associate Dean, Student Welfare Division, and Professor B. Vijay Kumar, Principal Faculty Advisor, McKay. Thank you, Acharya.
Thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you so much.
I'm Nima. I'm from France right now. I'm from France. And today is my first day. It's really a first day in this Gita session. And it is very, very, I feel very, very pleased and very, very, very thankful for Acharya-ji to listen to his live session today. Even my daughter, she's also listening Acharya since since I think it's nearly 6 months since we are listening Acharya from YouTube. And since then, my whole family love Acharya ji. I mean, even my daughter, she's 4.5 years old. She also loves to listen Acharya ji's podcast.